You are listening to the Wavelength podcast presents How Do I Internet? Your burning questions about digital marketing answered by the award-winning Astanza marketing team. We are your hosts today. My name is Amanda and I am the head of marketing here at Astanza Laser.
Hello, I'm Hannah and I'm the brand marketing manager here at Astanza.
And we are going to be talking about digital marketing today.
That's right.
More specifically, paid social.
Yes.
That is a burning question that we get from so many of our clients.
Mm-hmm.
They say, how do I do paid social? How do I create content for paid social? What paid social platforms should I be on? So we're going to be answering, I think, our top 3 questions today about paid social.
Yes, because we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. Yeah. But we're starting up here and we'll have some follow-up and you guys can send us in questions and we'll get you squared away, more details to come.
Yeah.
So let's start. I would say, okay, one of the main things we hear all the time is how much should I spend? How much do people spend? What should I be spending on social media ads? What do you think, Amanda?
It depends.
It does depend.
It depends is the answer. So there are a lot of different social media platforms, a lot of different places where you can advertise. Basically every social platform has a way to advertise because they all like to make money. But the budget for all of them wouldn't be the same, and the budget varies based on the type of business that you have and where you are. The best way that I tell people that they should figure out what to spend is by looking at who their competitors are and figuring out what their competitors are doing. So let's say you're in Dallas, Texas, which is where we are. There's a lot of competition in Dallas, Texas, and there's a lot of businesses here that are not even in the same industry, but are still competing for space on social media.
Yep.
And so the budget here is going to be higher. You may spend per platform $300, $400, $500 in Dallas, Texas. But if you are in, we just visited a client in Nebraska last week. If you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, you probably don't need the same budget that we do in Dallas, Texas, because there's not as many competitors. Mm-hmm. And so the answer, I think what I'm saying is there's not an exact science or an exact dollar amount, but figure out how much competition you have in your area and let that determine what you spend. And when you're doing your ads on social media, start with one platform, get really good at one platform, see if that platform, like let's say Instagram, brings you a return on investment. And if it does, then look at other platforms. If you're not getting a return on investment on that first platform, stop doing ads on that one and then move on to another one. Because it also, which platform is successful for you depends on the age of the people in your area, your business, the services that you're providing. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the time of year, the holiday season is the most expensive time to do any advertising because there's just more competition. And so I guess I would say, don't start this test on November 15th, because if you start this test on November 15th, you're not going to get accurate data. Wait till after the holiday season. Mm-hmm. Don't start it, on the 4th of July. Don't start it on Memorial Day weekend. Don't start it, anytime where there is a major sale at a car dealership. Don't start it at that time because car dealerships follow those trends.
All those big holidays. Yeah.
So test it out and start low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what I love about paid social and really digital ads in general, but you can start and stop them whenever you want. So as long as either you set it up or whoever sets it up for you shows you how to do that, you can do that. You can see all the time if it's working or not for you. So like Amanda's saying, getting that return, you're seeing if people are clicking and sending you messages and calling and booking and all of that good stuff. But low and slow for sure. Yep. You don't need to spend a whole lot, especially when you're testing it out, and just see what starts working for you and then start ramping up your spend on the ones that are working.
Yeah, and Facebook is really great. The Facebook Business Manager is where you will also make ads for Instagram. Mm-hmm. And Facebook is really great when you put in your target audience. Let's just say tattoo removal. Let's say I'm just going to use Lincoln, Nebraska as an example again. Let's say you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, and you want to advertise to people who are interested in tattoo removal. And you put in your audience and you put in your geography. Facebook will tell you a recommended budget. Mm-hmm. Now, take everything Facebook says with a grain of salt because they are trying to make money. They're going to try to make money. They are, yeah. They're going to try to make you spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But look at, Facebook will tell you the audience size and Facebook will tell you the recommended amount that you spend, and look and see what Facebook says. Start a little bit below what Facebook recommends for Facebook and Instagram, and then slowly ramp up from there as you see a return on investment. And if you don't ever see that return on investment, turn it off.
Turn that sucker off, get some consulting or talk to a friend or something and see what they think you could try next time.
And what should they do if their ads don't work?
Turn them off.
Other than turning off.
I would really, if you aren't a marketing professional previously to this business that you're running, or if you don't have someone on your team who is, I would get somebody who understands these specific platforms or types of ads very well to give you a little bit of an audit, because it may be a simple fix. You may have had, something not connected properly, or maybe the landing page on the website you were sending them to wasn't working right, or the form wasn't up high enough on the page, or, there may be a few simpler solutions.
Or maybe your content was wrong.
Yep.
Maybe you just need to change the ad, the offer, the picture. Yeah.
Yep. So it really could just be a variety of the actual creative pieces, and not necessarily your entire strategy of let's spend money to advertise to people in Dallas to get them in our doors.
And that's one benefit of working with Estanza is every one of our clients does get access to our client success manager, Saxton, and they have the ability to ask those questions at absolutely no cost and get answers from the award-winning Estanza marketing team.
Yeah.
So if you're trying an ad and you don't know that it's working and you need a little bit of assistance, you can always email us, marketing@estanzalaser.com, and ask us any questions that you have. And we will try to get you an answer as quickly as possible and make recommendations based on, our experience and our research into your geography.
Yeah, definitely. It's something we know that digital marketing, algorithms change, best practices change, and so unless you're in the space and working on it all the time, it can be really easy for something to work for you for a while as a business owner, and then 6 to 12 months later, it's not working anymore. That's typical. That's nothing that you messed up or did wrong. It just means that it's time to pivot and try something new.
So we talked about Facebook and Instagram. Are there any other platforms that you would recommend that people advertise on for their business?
I think when we're talking about a social media space, I would really just kind of stick to those for now. I do know that you can obviously advertise on other platforms. If you've listened to our other episodes, we talked about TikTok some and how good of a platform that is for your business. I don't know if I would really start by spending ads on TikTok though. I think that you should just see if the algorithm can work for you, be very methodical in what you're posting, how you're writing your captions, all of that good stuff, before you think about spending money there. I think Meta, the Facebook and Instagram is really kind of the two big hitters. We see success there all over.
Especially for this industry.
Absolutely.
Okay, last question.
Yes.
Your top tips for paid social media advertising.
Oh, I love top tip. I love an alliteration. I think that for one, it's having a grasp on just how it works. So understanding when you're creating an ad or when you're creating the piece of creative to put out there in a paid form, just knowing that where that's going, how people are seeing it, and then that way you're understanding the reporting numbers when you're looking at it. It'll tell you, hey, this audience is too small. They've seen this creative 100 times in the last 2 weeks. Please change this picture. Some of those pieces I think are really helpful. So having a good kind of grasp on just the entire process at the beginning, whether or not you're running them yourself, just to understand them as a business owner, because then you know what to take seriously. Like, hey, you got 10 leads this week. You better call them now. Because a lead is they filled out a form, they're interested in your stuff, and they want to hear from you. Versus maybe you saw some clicks on your page, but maybe it was more of a, kind of brand awareness type, just learn more about us, kind of see what we're about type of post. Yeah. Maybe you care more about clicks to that website page versus people filling out a form or calling you.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I have kind of an unpopular one.
Oh, yes, please.
I don't like boosted posts. I think a lot of business owners and people who are kind of new at social media marketing will boost posts on social media. Facebook gives you the option, spend $50 to boost this post. And you're like, it's only $50. But with boosted posts, you have no control over the audience. You have no control over where it's being delivered, time of day, geography, any of those things. Facebook's going to boost that post to pretty much anybody they think would be interested, but they're not experts in your business. You are. So I recommend creating a Google Business Manager account, a Meta Business Manager account. I mean, Google Business Manager is helpful.
That's important too, but that's
a different
another
episode.
Conversation. Yeah.
A Meta Business Manager account and creating an actual ad. That way you can control the spend, the geography, the targeting. And you can really make sure that the people that are seeing that ad are actually relevant to your business, and you have a little bit more control than with a boosted post.
For sure. And I think even the language differs in, what I would expect in a creative ad versus a post on Instagram. A post on Instagram, it's more casual. You're talking to your audience. You're saying you and your and being very first person friendly. And I think an ad, you want to be a little bit more you're trying to hook them faster, right? A little bit more of that, I hate to say clickbait, but kind of that get the best skin of your life today, call me now kind of thing. Versus, a post on Instagram is going to be a little bit more casual and a little bit more of your day-to-day content.
And speaking of Instagram, another great tip is make your images and videos in your ads square, because that's the one that is going to show up on most platforms. So a square image or a square video, I believe the actual dimensions are 1080 by 1080, and that's pixels.
Yep.
So if you're using Canva or another tool to create your ads, make them square, because they're going to show up on more platforms that way than maybe a horizontal or a vertical image.
For sure.
And then when you're thinking about your actual ad itself and the type of ad that you're building, Facebook's going to give you a lot of different options. You can drive traffic to your website. You can drive traffic to your Facebook page. You can drive traffic to a lead form. All of them are good in different ways. The one that I don't ever recommend for small businesses is actually the lead ads, because lead forms on Facebook are really easy to accidentally not accidentally fill
like
out,
the
but accidentally
autofill thing?
Yeah, it has autofill, so you can accidentally submit a lead form, and then you as the business owner are chasing somebody. You have to waste your time chasing somebody that didn't even ever mean to fill out that
Yep.
lead form in the first place. So you could put a lead form on your website.
Absolutely,
or
you should. Yeah.
Better yet, a scheduling button on your website.
That for sure.
But yeah, I don't recommend the actual lead form on Facebook because it's too easy to accidentally fill it out.
Yeah, it'll get you leads, but you're going to be filtering through a lot more people, and you might be spending on some folks that you didn't need to be spending on.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've responded to a Facebook lead form, and it's some lady that's like, I didn't fill this out. I'm like, well, yes, you did.
Submitted it.
You didn't need to.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah, that is a great tip too.
yeah.
For
Any
sure.
other tips?
There's a ton, but I think being able to understand it, having somebody on top of it, whether that's on your team or somebody working with you or partnering with you, and just kind of having all of that sort of back end of the system set up. Maybe you've got some of your auto response messages set up for your messenger on Facebook and Instagram in case someone DMs you instead of like responding to the ad on the form or whatever.
Ooh, and turn your notifications on. So
And
you know.
turn those on. Yes, turn your notifications on to your phone from the app. You can also send it to your email if you don't like having the app on your phone or want to have both places. Turn your notifications for email on.
So anything else you think we need to cover today?
I don't think so. We could talk about this for hours. We've got more episodes to come to get into the weeds a little bit more, but I really think we hit the top tips and got some good information today, for sure.
I think so. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. We really appreciate all of your time. It's been fun. Tune in to the next episode of How Do I Internet to learn some more about social media, paid advertising, websites, and all things digital advertising. Again, my name is Amanda.
And I'm Hannah.
Thanks.
See you next time.
Bye.